Hey, why don't I ever notice these things when I'm looking at myself in the mirror? It's only on the live. Okay. So, first of all, thank you everyone who commented and posted and whatever on my page about my son graduating. Yes, I'm officially a mom of a high schooler. We'll be reading books on that in a few months. All right, so today we're going to talk about chapter 2 of this book, The Surrendered Wife, the New York Times bestseller. So it was read by a lot of women, and surprising because a lot of the things in here is controversial. Even the back, it says, this controversial approach has transformed thousands of relationships, bringing women romance and intimacy. Really what we're trying to do is help relationships develop between a husband and wife. All right, hi Elena. Moshe, you don't need to be in this group. You're not married and you're not a woman. We're not trying to surrender you. So go to Torah anytime and learn from like Rabbi, I don't know, someone. All right, I'm just teasing you. All right, so the chapter 2 title is Give Up Control to Have More Power, which seems kind of, how you going to get that, right? How you going to get more control if you have less power? I mean, how you going to have more power if you give up control? Someone like me who likes to have things a certain way was very controlling and wanted everything to be just so, right? Because we know how to do it right. And our husbands don't, right? So she says here, and it's really brutal, guys. I'm going to speak straight from the book because this is not my words. Stop telling your husband what to do, what to wear, what to say, and how to do things, even if you think you're helping. As much as possible, mind your own business. Recognize that when your urge to control him comes up, you may be feeling fear that isn't appropriate to the situation. Everything that we try to control deep down is coming from a place of fear. We're afraid. Susan, you're so cute. I just read your comment. It's coming from a place of fear. Think about that. Think about an event where you were trying to control something. What were you really trying to prevent from a fear situation? Like, what were you trying to make sure it doesn't happen? So, let's say my son had a graduation today. He had a speech he had to present. So, of course, I had to review the speech. I was controlling that. If I really think about it, what was I really scared of? I was afraid. I had fear that he would make a fool of himself. Like, that was my worst case scenario. Like, he wouldn't do well. But really, it's ungrounded, right? Children just need to evolve and do their thing. Of course, I looked at it anyway because I wanted to make sure it was okay. It was good. Okay. So now here she writes, write down 5 situations where you have been controlling with your husband recently. This light is bothering me. You don't have to go, it keeps reminding me to sit up straight. Okay. You don't have to go far with figuring this one out. I mean, just literally run through your day. Did you tell him what to eat? Did you tell him how to drink? Did you tell him what I did this so much when he was he was a big guy. Okay, I don't want to say fat, but like, if I'm going to be real with you right now, his BMI was in the almost morbidly obese category. I was up in that space. First of all, I'm a PA. I'm not a fat person. So I know things, right? That's what I would tell him. Like, listen, you should listen to me. Like, I want what's best for you, right? So you should not have that second plate of plov. Don't tell me what to do, he would say. And I'd be like, you really need to get yourself a new pair of shoes. Don't tell me what to do. Or like, are you going to wear that? Is that what you're going to wear tonight to the party? Don't tell me what to do, right? I was so like in a questioning, controlling way. Why? Because I'm afraid that he's going to become morbidly obese and get a heart disease issue, or if it's regarding to the food, or I'm afraid that he's not going to look good with me at the party if it's about controlling how he dresses. Whatever it may be, it's all coming from a place of fear. So now she writes 5 situations where you controlled your husband recently. For each situation, ask yourself what it was you were afraid would happen. Was your fear realistic? And then she goes on to say, what was the worst case scenario? Why did you feel you need to control that? She says, I would go so far as calling this terror, where we become so controlling. Where were you? Oh my God, that was me so much. If my husband was 5 minutes late coming home, where were you? What happened to you? You know, my fear is you're dead in a ditch somewhere, but I want to control where you are every minute of the day. And I sound like a psycho because he's like, don't you trust me? Why are you asking me such ridiculous questions? I'm not allowed to be 5 minutes late to home, or 10 minutes late. No, because in my head I have a fear, and my fear is coming from a place of like my brother died a few years ago, 10 years ago. And so anytime somebody's not on time to things, I have this fear that starts to creep up. And that's not on him, that's on me. Everything that we try to control, guys, that's not their issue, that's our issue. That we're burdening our partner with our own fear. And it's unfortunate because it puts such a strain on him and on you together to deal with that. Am I making sense? My side note, my sister Sara, she used to take this class, I don't know, some class, it was like an online course to get into optometry school. And I used to make fun of her. She used to come to my house and watch these seminars. And the lady was from Israel, so she had this Israeli accent. And she would always say, does it make sense? Does it make sense? And so all day I would ask her, Sara, does it make sense? So now it just kind of stuck with me. And that's what happens when you make fun of other people. It sticks to you. Now she continues to write, really challenge your fear and ask yourself, like when you leave your kid with him and you're like, are you sure you're going to be okay? Are you sure you're not going to burn the house down? If you're not going to forget the fire, right? You're not going to forget to turn off the flame. You're not going to forget to feed the kids. The real fear is like, he's not going to burn down the house. Is that your fear? Or are you afraid that he's going to starve the kids to death? If he's been able to feed himself every day of his life and also take care of you and the family, give it up. Give him that, respect that he could maybe take care of his own children. He wouldn't really let the kids starve or, do some crazy crap. As irrational as it sounds, the short answer to those questions is yes, I do believe he would let my kids starve. And that's the problem. We believe those things. We feel the need to control because we fear that if we don't take matters into our own hands, our needs will go unmet. So until you stop trying to run his life, this is a powerful statement. Until you stop trying to run his life, you'll never know what it's truly like to be married to your husband. I'm not saying that you are the cause of your husband's shortcomings. Your husband is always completely responsible for his own actions. But you, on the other hand, at the same time, if you are nagging, undermining, criticizing, disrespecting him, we don't want to be these people, right? When we get married, we want to be nurtured, we want to be loved, we want to be a nurturer, we want to love. But all of a sudden, like there's this like imperceptible shift that happens where you kind of like, I love that tie on you, to, are you gonna wear that tie? And it's very emasculating to a man, according to what she's saying. Okay, I'm not saying I'm a man and I know what that is, but like this is what she's describing. You're crushing his confidence, his intellect, and potential, both emotionally and financially. There's a lot of things that about the surrendered wife. Surrendered wife really means letting go of the things that you anyways have no control over. You literally have no control over anybody but yourself. So until you start shifting the point of focus to yourself, you're not going to be making a lot of progress in your marriage, in your life. Anytime I have found this to be true, anytime there is an issue in your life with anyone, and you think, I got to change that person, I wish she was different. If my mother-in-law would behave like a normal mother-in-law or a normal human being, I wouldn't be in this mess. or if anyone around me, you know, for that matter, whatever it may be. I don't know if you're there, guys. My sister tried calling me. Are you there? Can you wave if you see me? Okay. Hi, Ilana. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, my sister just tried calling me. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock. That's right, people. I get calls at 11 o'clock at night because that's what sisters do. Anyway, yes, I can save this life. So I forgot where I was going with this. Yes, the point of focus is always on you. Always. Always. If you ever start to get like, I can't believe you forgot my birthday. Let me tell you something. It's unfortunate that you forgot your birthday. But the fact that you're getting so repulsed and angry about it, that's not on him. I know, because I was that girl. Okay? It's not on him. It's on you. Because you're getting really intensely reactive to like exploding. Why you like that? I'll tell you why. Because I was that person. It's because you need your self-worth to be validated by an external experience, like someone came up and gave you some gifts and some words that said you are valuable, I love you. You know what? Now if my husband forgot something valuable to me, I can tell him after the fact and say, listen honey, I really love it when you remember that, because that matters to me for our relationship. But I'm not going to be like, I can't believe you forgot me. I know, I was that person, like really intense. I wouldn't let it go. I would hold on to it because it made me feel powerful. But really, deep down, I was like a helpless little person with no identity unless he gave it to me. Like literally gave up my power so he could tell me, you know, you're amazing. I got you this beautiful ring. That was my dream. How many of us have that dream? Okay? Where the husband picks out the perfect gift on your birthday. Before it's your birthday, he picks it out, not on the day of or the day after, like before. That was my dream. I've let go of that dream and I've incorporated a new dream, right? Because when you let go of something, you can actually hold on to something else. And my new dream is to appreciate myself without having him validate me. It's so freeing. It's so freeing. I don't need somebody to tell me I matter. And let me tell you something. If every person on this live right now tells me nothing, and in fact I get a bunch of negative comments, it doesn't matter to me. Do you know why? Because deep down I know I'm coming from my soul, and I know I'm doing something from my soul. So if people want to give me like constructive criticism, let's say, or something like that, that's one thing. But like if they're coming from a negative space, and if anyone comes to you from a negative space, remember something. That's on them. That's where their ego is at. That's where they're here. And you're here because you're working from a different space. You don't need to come down to that level and start barking and being upset and being all like righteous. Like, how come she didn't get me? How come she treated me like that? She treated you like that because that's how she was raised, and that's how she's been living her life, and that's the crap that's happened to her in her life. That's how she's responding to that life, to the people around her, because anything anyone ever does is a direct response to what they've been through. Nothing about you. But once you let go of that burden of thinking like how people respond to you is because of who you are, once you let go of that and realize how people respond to you is because of who they are, it's so freeing. It's like being on crack. It's like just amazing. And I don't know what being on crack is, but I'm assuming it's super freeing because a lot of people do it. I used to be working in detox. Maybe not a good analogy. Okay. So over here, when a wife is controlling and saying, why didn't you do this? And you know, he's never the right type of guy. Complaining about him, the real point of focus right back there is really what their problem is at. That's really where it's coming from here, not from there. And once you get that, you can be a surrendered wife. This is my takeaway from this book, that once you shift the focus to yourself, you can actually heal the marriage with both of you in it. One of the best years of my marriage has been in the last 2 years, like some few months here and there. And it's not because we went on wonderful vacations, and it's not because life got easier. In fact, life got more challenging because we had more kids. And I say kids plural because yes, that's how it has been. No twins, just one at a time. And it has been more struggling financially, and like I'm working as a coach, health coach now, so there's been a lot more shifts and work involved into balancing my life, but yet my marriage is better for it. Why? I really believe strongly because I stopped controlling things that I have no power over, really. And I tell my husband that, like when he's angry, I said, listen, I really can't talk to you when you're angry like that, but we can talk soon. Or it's hard because I'm like going straight into that place of like, you want to be angry with me? I can do that. I can be angry too because I have feelings, okay? But that's not going to help my relationship. And I realize that's not going to help me be in control of my life. And once we figure out that letting go of what we can't control actually gives us so much more power to realize what we have the power to control, which is ourselves, is so wonderful, because you become the kind of person that people actually want to hang around. And I noticed that. I noticed that. Okay, I'm not saying the marriage is perfect, but I am saying it's definitely improving. Because I think, again, letting go of what you can't control allows you to deal with what's in your power. And the only thing in your power is yourself, not your kids, not your situations around you, not waiting in the doctor's office for 2 hours. Yes, that was me today. All of that thing is not in your control. What is in your control is who you choose to be in those situations. Okay, that's really it for this section. I want to end with homework, okay? She talks about the no control date. This is really hard to do for someone who's not exercised who's not exercised letting go. So no control date is really practicing allowing him to make decisions without you criticizing them. And so she says here, my therapist told me I should go on a no control date. He was to tell me how to dress, what time to be ready, where to go, pick out the restaurant, order for me, everything. He was supposed to decide for her. And she was supposed to let him just like go with the flow, which was so against her that she was actually trying to give him clues about what she would like to eat and where she would like to go, because she really just had so much problems with not allowing him to make decisions and always being on top of every little thing. Because God forbid she spends any time in a place that she may not like because she's afraid that it won't be the right thing for her. She said, I couldn't do it. I was beside myself with anxiety. When we left the restaurant, I begged him to take me home instead of to the movies as he had planned, because I was so distressed. But why was I terrified to be out on a date with my husband? It made no sense. At no point during the evening was I in any danger, or being embarrassed, bored, deprived. I was with my husband. He's a good company, but I was like afraid of, like, as if something terrible would happen. But what was it? I wanted to really be in control of an unpredictable world. I wanted to say, everything on me, I get to decide. But really, what do we have control over, right? That's what we were focused on before. And I think a lot of the anxiety that people deal with is related to wanting control and not realizing it's not going to work like that. They're trying to control and they're getting anxiety because it's really not functional. It's not a functional way. All right. I'm going to stop here, but let's do that homework assignment. Let's go on a date, or, I don't know, experience some kind of activity if you can't get out of the house, where, in a pleasant way. If he has to be down for it, guys. If he's not down for it, don't do it. Because then you'll be like, you need to take me out on a date where you get to decide. You need to do this tonight. That's actually against the rules. So hopefully you guys gain something from this. And if you heard this, it was meant for you to hear. And I hope you gained some kind of insight into yourself, because really everything I'm doing is about self-growth and just bringing people along the ride with me. So super love talking to you guys. Thank you again for watching with me, and I'm going to give a little shout out to Ella. Thank you, Ella, for doing my eyebrows today. No, not Ella, Olga. Sorry, Ella and Olga. They're sisters, so it's okay. But Olga did my eyebrows. Yes. Thank you, Olga. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Good night. Bye.